Hi guys. Welcome. My name is Ava. Thank you for joining. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'll be talking about a few things involving the energetic positioning. I'll just be talking about where we're at right now energetically and why it's significant that Liz and Catherine both shared their stories yesterday. The reason that I'm making this video specifically now is because of what came out about Liz and her partner and how he was unfaithful to her. And on the same day, Catherine goes on Call Her Daddy and speaks about everything that happened within her own relationship. These two things happening on the same day is very interesting. And when I found out about Liz, Catherine we've already known about. When I found out about Liz, at first I couldn't believe it, but then I was like, oh, of course this is happening right now because the matriarchy is rising. So let's get into it. At the end of April, basically what happened is people had to make a decision. Either they were going to step out of the loops that they had been stuck in, the karmic cycles that they had to keep repeating until they finally learned the lesson and they took the courageous step out of it, or you chose to fall back into old patterns and you now have to redo those for quite some time. Every person's path on this earth is different. Let me just say that loud and clear. I don't believe in, oh, if you miss the window, then you're energetically stuck for 7 years. I personally don't believe that. I don't believe that's how the timing works. Now what I believe is, no, you make your own opportunities, you open those doors yourself, you make your own luck. A little bit about me. I've always been very gifted in terms of silver tongue. I've always said exactly what's on my mind, but I had a few very dark experiences over the past 6 years that made me decide that I needed to spend some time alone. Isolate, go into hermit mode, and keep my circle a lot smaller. I stopped giving my energy so freely because I was really being taught in that time by God that not everything is an equal exchange. Some people will take from you. And so my karmic lesson over the past 6 years was learning how to not give my energy so freely to those who don't deserve it. And that did ramp up in the past few months. Like, I'm sure if you go back and you look at what happened over the past few months, you can identify for yourself what your big lesson was that you had to choose whether to step out of or not. If you're coming across this video, I'm sure that you did step out of it, so congratulations. But I also believe that there is still time to make decisions like that. Like, if you know in your heart that you're supposed to be doing something and you're not doing it, you need to take that step, or else you're going to have to repeat the same lessons and go through these situations where you learn to step into your own power again. And I truly want you to learn how to be brave in this world. That's what I want. Every person comes here with their own set of gifts and skills, and those gifts do need to be realized. You can't approach this world with a sense of, oh, I'm here to help others, I'm here to serve, da 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 da. What I've learned is that if you don't take care of yourself first, if you don't fill up your cup first, you cannot do anything for anyone else. You have to really embody your own power. You have to find joy in being yourself. When they talk about living authentically, it's not scary and it's not supposed to be difficult at all. It's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to feel right, it's supposed to feel like you've clicked in, It's supposed to feel like you're in flow all of the time. That's what living authentically means. When you rip off the layers of, oh, what are people going to think of me? How am I coming across in this situation? You will feel so good, I promise. But yes, how does that tie back to the matriarchy rising and the patriarchy falling? I don't like to use these terms online because they attract a lot of negative attention or negative energy. People have a lot of bias when it comes to the patriarchy, but I really want you to listen. Please listen. So these two groups are becoming divided. There are the ones that are awakening and ascending up, and there are levels to this shit, this is not just like, oh, I ascended and now I'm up here all the time. That's not how it works. There are those who chose to step out of their old cycles and who chose to grow and who are ascending and awakening right now. We go through different levels of awakenings throughout our life, and that's something that that I'm still trying to figure out, so please take what resonates and take all of this with a grain of salt. Yeah, there are those who decided to rise and those who decided to fall. And so the earth is splitting into two. And this is a time of abundance through truth. This is a time where the ones who shine light on the darkness will be rewarded and will be celebrated. The ones who step out into the light and speak will be celebrated, recognized, rewarded. When I say rewarded, all I mean is that there are so many people who have learned so much and who have such great gifts and are ready to step out and are ready to share, but something is still holding them back. They're still not taking that final step. Now it's time, there's nothing else to do but be brave. There is just a major cleaving right now that's happening between the divines and those who are still needing to grow and learn and work through some of their own shadow. In terms of the situation with Liz and her ex-partner, this was a blessing for her because she is set on a much higher path. She was his big lesson. In a way, she didn't do anything wrong. She'll be rewarded for this. She was his big lesson. There are so many women who have gotten to the end of their rope when it comes to the American society. I'm not going to say the world because each society is different, but in terms of where women stand with the men in this country, it's a little bleak. The women who are single and who are heterosexual and do want a partner are finding that it's harder and harder to find a good partner. And that's because as we grow and we rise and we gain more independence and we gain more knowledge and we connect more with our femininity and our spirituality, they're not rising at the same level because they haven't needed to be pushed for so long. Coming back to patriarchy, it doesn't benefit anyone because it doesn't teach anyone to grow. It suppresses most groups and it lifts up one group. And for that one group that it lifts up, they become very entitled. They don't have to learn how to grow because they subconsciously have always viewed others as lower, the other groups that are not part of their group. Coming back to the matriarchy, the Liz situation and the Catherine situation have dropped on the same day, which is sparking so many women to open their eyes. Like, we have been hearing talks of this for so long, and this is why social media is such a gift. Now everyone's eyes are open. If Liz can get cheated on, and if Catherine can get cheated on for years and years and be silenced for years, finally, as she starts to share her story, tries to be painted as the villain and as crazy, oh my God, it's time to focus on ourselves. What's going to start happening is we are going to be returning to matriarchy. Patriarchy is a triangle. Matriarchy is a circle where everyone is celebrated and rewarded for bringing their unique skills and gifts to the table, living in community with one another, sharing with one another, teaching one another, loving one another. The days of catering to a patriarchal society are coming to an end. And yesterday was the turning point. These two women are divine feminines, through and through. Catherine is. If you watched the Call Her Daddy episode where she speaks about everything that went on, you can tell she is centered, she is focused, she is grounded. She has worked through all of the betrayal, all of the traumatic experiences that man put her through. While she stayed silent, by the way, she did not share anything until way later, and that was because she felt that it wasn't the time. And now it is the time. And like I said, the ones who speak truth are now being rewarded and are now being celebrated. I don't really know how to close this video except whoever is watching, just know that the structures that we live under are about to be completely flipped upside down. So women, it's time to focus on ourselves. Always stand on your own 2 feet. Don't cater to what you think men want from you. That's no longer important. That was only important when we couldn't stand on our own, but now that we can, it's time to do that, okay? So if you still struggle with craving validation from an external source, you do need to look inward and understand why that's happening and why you're thinking that way. I just kind of wanted to give an energetic update on what's going on. It's no coincidence that those two stories were dropped on the same day. I don't know if you can feel it, but something has shifted today. Like, that was the final straw. Seeing Liz, of all people, get cheated on by someone who is not that impressive. We don't need to psychoanalyze his behavior anymore. What's done is done, and I should not speak on it anymore because I don't believe that it honors her and her situation. But it is important to note, and it's timely. And then with the whole Catherine thing, it's timely as well. And I'm really proud of these two, and I'm really excited to see how others are responding to these two women sharing their stories. And yeah, this is the beginning of something really beautiful. And also, I will say that a new 7-year period is starting right now. So the ones who have chosen to step out of their old cycles and have chosen to grow and elevate, they'll have to start sharing more. So anyways, thank you for watching. My name is Ava. I don't know how many of these videos I'll have to make, but I'm doing these as I feel called, and I hope you enjoyed. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Oh, lastly, I just wanted to say, if you are someone who you have a purpose, you're supposed to step into the public eye in some way, to share your story or to share about just anything, I encourage you to do that now. It's time. And if you're hesitant, please ask yourself why. Is it just fear of being seen? Is it some old wound that's rearing its head again? If so, you know how to deal with that. And I encourage you to be bold, be brave. If you have something to share, it is your duty to share it for yourself, not for other people. I hate this idea of we need to give and give and give. Really, our lives are about ourselves. And when we can fill our own cup, we can then overflow into other people's lives. Our lives should not just be giving and giving and giving. And I think that's where spirituality kind of takes a turn for the worst, is like, oh yeah, I have these gifts, I have to share them, I have to do this and that for other people. No, you're here for your soul's development, okay? So if part of your duty here is to step into the light, step out and share your truth and to be authentic, in whatever way that means for you, you do have to do that. I hate to break it to you. We're in a spiritual age where there's no time to wait any longer. Technology is advancing incredibly fast, and when that happens in all societies, it is an indicator that we're not going to be here for much longer. We can look back at the Egyptians, see how they developed so far and advanced so far with their technology, and now they're gone. We can look back at the Atlanteans. They developed their technology to a point where they fucking disappeared. It's time. If you're scared, get over it. And if you need guidance, God is right there. Pray for peace. Ask for direction, ask for clarity, ask for understanding. One thing I will say though is just do it, just try it. What's the worst that can happen? A little bit of public scrutiny? Who cares? Okay, they're not doing it. Most of the people who are scrutinizing you anyways aren't doing what you're doing, could never do what you're doing, or want to do what you're doing and just don't have the balls. So you're already winning. That's my advice on that. Anyways, I'm tired. I need to edit this and go to bed. Much love. Peace out. Also, I just learned that this peace sign is actually not right. The priests do this, the popes do this in all of the traditional artwork because they understand the duality of a human being. You know, we're body and spirit. And they do this to represent that they are one, body and spirit. When we do this, it is representative of us being separated from our higher selves. So take that as you will, but I do this now. So anyways, have a good night.